Arc Raiders just had some brand new official confirmations. We'll go over all of those, as well as of course some teasers leading up to SGF, or we can deep dive into some new speculations, and even some official teasers for new cosmetics. Last up, we'll go over some community mentionables, which will include some tips and tricks, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up world, it's Utopia here, back with another video. Today we're checking out all things Arc Raiders. First up here, we'll go over those official confirmations, and yes, there are a few of those. With that here, we did get the round 1 of the 2025 partners. There is a plethora of studios here, as you can see, that will be at Summer Games Fest, but you guessed it, if we zoom over to the left side of this image, we actually do see Embark. Now there has been, of course, some speculation that it might just be for the finals. We do have Season 6 ending here very soon, with Season 7 just around the corner. However, more than likely they're probably going to showcase off some stuff for both games, at least I would think so. Or I would think at the very least that Arc Raiders will be the one that is there. With the final stuff, I'll talk about that with next week's video. But I do assume, since we haven't seen a lot of marketing for Season 7, or at least any teasers there, my assumption is that it's going to be at SGF as well. Of course, take that with a grain of salt though, I don't really know anything with that, and even if I did, I couldn't tell you. If you haven't seen though, SGF is just around the corner. In fact, it's only 1 week left. That is on June 6th at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, or 2 p.m. Pacific. Maybe I'll leave a time converter down below in case you need to figure that out. But seemingly, we are very close to get some potential release dates or any other teaser information. Of course, Shadow Drop is always in the mix there. Nothing has really been confirmed on that front, though it does seem like something is going to be happening at SGF. I actually did run a poll recently, and it got a ton of votes here. In fact, over 2,000 people did vote on this. I also ran this same poll on the Discord, but that did ask what will be revealed at SGF 2025 for Arc Raiders, or at least pertaining to the game. In first place with the most votes here at 36% is official release date. We then have the open beta launch with 34%, and then 27% of you believe that there's going to be a shadow drop or a full game released. Last up here though at 30% would be a new teaser only. So literally no release date, no open beta, no shadow drop. It would just be a little mini teaser to show off the game. As I mentioned, there is the same poll that happened on my Discord, and the percentages were around the same here, with 44% being the official release date, open beta at 30%, shadow drop at 22%, and new teaser trailer at 4%. So literally the exact same placements here for that. Most of you do think it's going to be an official release date or an open beta launch. That was super cool to see the stats play out like that, even across the board from YouTube to Discord. Just really insightful to combine those two avenues. There's also one more confirmation here. Currently, it looks like the Xbox version of Arc Raiders is available to download, or at least the placeholder version, which is around 300 megabytes. Now, this is a different version than the tech test, and this can usually happen up to a week before the official release date. Basically, the placeholder allows you to download the full game and install it when it does become available. Now, some people have pointed out that the game is going to cost money, so why would that let you do that? However, Xbox actually does allow you to download any game via the app. You will need to purchase it to play it though, but you can download it, where this is also much different than a beta. Typically, betas don't have that placeholder file, so this could actually be the largest news yet in relation to the release date, or that it might actually come out at SGF, or there could be a pre-order situation, but still really cool there. This basically just dropped about an hour ago, so this is very, very fresh news on that. Now, we had a post here. Again, this is pure speculation, but essentially this person puts proof 6/6 inside, essentially proving that the date for the release date will be 6/6 or June 6th. Now, this post was also made by Embark Oscar, but it's also on the Twitter page showcased in the screenshot here, where both Oscar and this tweet here say, "Missing the Rust Bolt arc activity on the surface has receded for now. Time for some rest, maybe take Scrappy for a walk, but stay alert. The Rust Belt never stays quiet for long." As they have highlighted here, they have enlist, resist at the bottom portion, and those each are 6 letters. So essentially, these 6/6 date does seem pretty promising there. Again, obviously everything here with a grain of salt, but it is a little bit ironic. Although, of course, this has been their motto for quite some time. As a commenter points out, they've been hinting the release date since 2021. Maybe they just end up making it happen and putting it to that date. Obviously, they've been using this phrase for quite a while. Would be kind of cool if after all of that, they did plan to release it on this day. Speaking of that, we had one more speculation post here, but this is essentially just a fun meme one, where it mentions here Embark's clever way of keeping the Summer Fest news a secret. And we see this poster with a VCR tape. He said, "I'm online friends with a fellow who knows a fellow who cleans the bathroom at Embark, and I would post the video, but his grandma's VCR is not working." Obviously just a bit of a funny post there. Someone also went in and took the ELA data, which revealed that there was some inconsistencies in the image, where uniformity was expected. People have gone to lengths to kind of prove this right and wrong, but as they do mention, it looks like this image was heavily processed with Photoshop, and just a bit of a meme posting there. We do have a bit of official news here though. Arc Raiders is now the 8th most wishlisted game on Steam, which is pretty cool there. I'm guessing if it did have a release date, it would be even higher. Although with the shadow drop, it more than likely won't even matter. Still a cool one there overall, and really happy for Embark. Moving on here, as I said, there is a little bit of a teaser here for some new cosmetics. Now this was actually showcased in the June 2023 trailer that was for the Arc Raiders closed alpha. Or if we see here at 15 seconds, we do have a bit of an outfit here, one that wasn't showcased during either closed beta, or at least in those tech tests. Now you might be saying that's tied to the cinematics. However, it's actually also showcased again at the 36-second mark, and this showcases more of a gameplay scenario, where we do see a different helmet here, but we see the same t-shirt, and even some tattoo additions there. Does look like they are incorporating a lot of the finals systems into this game. I do wonder if they're going to add fingernails or tails. I would say more than likely probably not for a little while, but pretty cool there that we are getting some utilization between the two. I'm sure they also do have a ton of skins planned for the future, and again, we might not see this one at launch. There actually was a few beta skins or skins that were in the beta of the finals that never made it to full release, or at least took a long time to get to full release. So they might not be there right away at launch, but there are a few that you can utilize. We'll also have to see if they do launch with 3 battle passes at the same time, or if they were gearing and seeing which players wanted one more. I'd be super curious on that, as again, the game had 3 at the same time, and I do wonder how they're going to play into that. I would guess they just pick one based on popularity though. Moving on here, I know I said I would give some tips and tricks with the community section. That is actually to help you with your questing and essential items guide. Now this is put together over on the Reddit, where this is a bit of a screenshot here, but there also is a ARC tracker, where that does tell you all the essential items per level, what you'll need at each level for your quests, and it even has a skill tree planner as well. There's also one on the wiki page, so multiple sources here for different references. I actually really do like how this sheet presents it, and again there's also the one on the ARC tracker and even the Arc Raiders wiki. I'll include links to all 3 so you can use whichever you do like and prefer. Moving on, we have another community post here. This actually does pertain to people wanting to play Arc Raiders as a pacifist. Yes, there are people wanting to play that way. This person here does give a pacifist tip of the day, where you can exit while downed. That you don't need to knock out everybody. In fact, if you're just inside of the exit room, it can either be in the train station or those exit containment centers, the ones that drop down with the doors and those little buildings. As long as you're not fully knocked out, if you're just knocked down on the ground, you can still escape, which is a pretty cool mention there. You can make it in and extract even if you're just knocked down. Overall, that's about covered for today's video. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe, and until the next one. Deuce!